You will never be able to outsource your weekly emails. On the same breath, it is a mistake, one of my biggest mistakes. One of the biggest mistakes I made is thinking that you're going to be able to do that. So what I'd like to do is a couple shares, please. So who would like to share what was a aha they learned from their partner, or something they learned from yesterday, or one take home that was really cool?
Yeah.
Go for it. Okay, and then Angus next. Okay, Tom. Give Tom a round of applause. Sanj, you can turn me down a little bit.
So looking for single failure points in the business.
Yes.
Try and preempt them. That was a big thing.
Oh, very nice. Does everyone know what a single failure point in the business is? If you don't, put up your hand because you need to know. Okay, cool. Great job, great job. Thank you for putting up your hands. So a single failure point in the business is a point within the business where, let's say, the skill set is relied on one human being. So that single person leaves, that's a single failure point. Okay, that's a single failure. For some of you, at the certain sizes of your business, you can almost never completely stop it from happening in totality. But I'm always trying to prevent a single failure point from happening in my business. So cross-pollination of information, cross-pollination of skill set. You can ask my team, the last meeting, there was a big emphasis on we can't have an Infusionsoft expert. If you're in this business, everyone's an Infusionsoft expert. If you're in business, you need to know how to run a CRM. It's not a luxury anymore. It's a necessity. It's a communication tool. It's like running a business right now without a voice. If you don't know how to run a CRM, you don't have a voice, because that's how you communicate. How many of you in this room ended up doing business with me because you got an email from me in some way, shape, or form and showed up to your first webinar? If I look at the room, I would have half the business I have if I didn't know how to send an email. You guys understand, yes? So for us, that was a single failure point in our business. There were one or two people that were too good at it, and other people didn't quite know how to do it. Now everyone is forced to interact with it in some way, shape, or form. Does that make sense? Cool. I'm just trying to think other single failure points. Certain finance seats end up being, but they're quite easily replaced. Finance, whether it's bookkeepers and things like that, quite easily replaced, and it's a pretty easier job. That's why I think we're in the long term getting as good results as we are, and why, in my humble opinion, I think our done for you service is as powerful as it is not just for the results, but I had a few conversations with a few people. I've almost never seen a practice fully integrate a full-time marketing person. I've almost never seen it fully from outside, and then keep that person, because what happens is everybody, and when they leave, that's a single failure point, because most of the time they have all the skill set, but that's really the power of having done for you in some way, shape, or my group. Forget about done for you in my group, because my job is to leverage my team, because actually what done for you is becoming is a little bit of you get a fractional marketing person from our team. You with me? So actually, the people that are getting the most out of it are they still got the marketing person, that their responsibility is fully to communicate with my team. Now, I'm very transparent, and if any of you are in the marketing seat, I'm very transparent with both sides here, but should that person leave, our kind of core focus of our team is we need to fulfill or help the person replace that seat and the skill set and plug the gap so they don't lose momentum. You guys with me? So that's kind of one part we see is almost a little part of your team, not just an agency, so we can onboard new marketing people, because I've almost never seen kind of a mom and pop business do that consistently. And yesterday, if you see the conversations, it was a conversation between Kieran and Cheyenne and the end person. What should we do here? What should we do? It's a learning process, you know. So anyway, that's a potential single failure point that we are solving on your behalf in some way. You guys get that, yes? Yeah. So you've got us to rely on when someone leaves. And I've had someone come to me before and go, wow, that person in my business is a potential single failure point. I'm like, no, they're not. You're all good. My marketing people, when they join me, they go, what's the first thing they do? What's the first training I make them go through? Let me ask, Kieran, what did you have to do for the first 2 weeks when you joined me?
MPA.
Dan, what's the first thing you had to do? Megan, what's the first thing you had to do? Jack? What? Jack, that's it. Pay cut right there. Anyway, you guys get the point, yes? Yeah, like the market person comes in, they do NPA, the NPA. everyone starts with MPA. Every single person starts with MPA in some way, shape, or form. So I'm flabbergasted when someone joins me and they don't put their key, either CAs or heads. I'm flabbergasted when you don't put them through through MPA in some way, shape, or form. Flabbergasted. You guys understand? Yes? Cool. Angus, what was yours? First, we'll give Tom a round of applause.
Hey, morning. So Robin and I are both quite new to having our own clinics, and we realised, just chatting yesterday, just having an org chart for your business, you'll be in every single seat initially, but as you grow and as you develop and as you find other people, you can plug them in. But right now we're both going, our name's in every seat, and that's okay, but that will change. And I think for you guys who've got obviously more people, it's like we're babies in this, and it was really interesting to go actually just having that structure and really clear about that, and as your name comes out of the seat, you'll be able to put the person into each seat. So that was quite mind-blowing for us.
That's such a cool, that's such a cool share, because it doesn't matter how big the team goes, guess what? We still look at it as massive as my org chart now is, and the process of going through org chart still identifies 2 factors for you. Capacity blocks, who's in too many seats, but we have to go through the process. We're like, oh wow, like this person's sitting in 14 seats, that's a challenge. And even if it's you. And the other thing it identifies for us is new hires, hey Al? So what will happen, go, okay, I don't know about the timing of this, but we'll actually put a dotted line, and we'll go ... and we've got sales development rep soon. You know, I'm not quite sure of the thing. So then we actually go ... and we go like, okay, we'll see. So it gives us clarity on the things we need to hire also. Great share. Give Angus a round of applause. Get another one from this side of the room. Who would also like to share? Go for it. Kelly, and then...
It struck me when I get all the emails from you guys how annoying I found that at times.
Yeah.
And actually hearing the guys talking from the Hall of Fame yesterday, I think it was Belinda, and she said, I'd had the emails and I was just never going to do it. And then I saw an email when I was in the right point of pain to then actually take you up on that.
Yeah.
And I had not really done that with my patients because I didn't want them to feel harassed.
Yeah.
Now I'm happy to harass them because I think that when they're in that pain, then they're going to get it. So that was a slight takeaway, but absolutely, I think that was great. Does that make sense?
Such a good share. Here's my thing. I'll share with you all. How many of you have got a little bit irritated at some point with the massive emails you've got from anyone, including me? Cool. Keep your hands up. Keep your hands up. But you're here.
But you're right. I stopped having the emails now. I even asked Elle to take me off the email.
But you get the point, yes?
But I'd had this guilt around doing that, whereas the guilt today is like, do you know what?
Okay,
I'm done, I'm over it.
Now, what's this? Where's Ed? I've got Ed. Do I have Ed on this? Where's Ed? Ed, yeah, Ed's here. And then Belinda, I just want to quickly say, if I can, Ed, are you in a position to unmute yourself? Okay, unmute yourself there for a second. There you go.
There we go.
Okay, awesome. We can all hear you. Everyone give Ed a round of applause. Ed, during lockdown, I don't know if I'm echoing, during lockdown or now, how many emails are you sending a week or a day?
Still send one a week now, but I did one a day for 100 days straight during lockdown.
What happened during lockdown?
And we also did a video every day for 100 days straight as well.
Pretty cool, yes? Give you a huge round of applause. Wait, one more thing. I would highly recommend you're on. I always say this to Ed, and he always gets embarrassed. But I highly recommend you're on his email list, because if he writes brilliant subject lines, and he writes a very cool Seinfeld email. And during lockdown, his results are amazing during lockdown, by the way. But he just lists. He's like, cool. I need to over communicate every single day. Amazing results. Ed, great job. Great to see you. I think you're exercising or something. Thanks for sharing. Give Ed a round of applause. Belinda, how many emails do you send during lockdown or at the moment? Yeah.
During lockdown, and I need to pick it up again.
Yeah, very nice. Okay, cool. So Belinda sends every single week. I'm going to jump ahead here, but it's one of my inconvenient truths I'm going to share later. Is it okay if I tell you something you're not going to want to hear? Hello? You will never be able to outsource your weekly emails. On the same breath, it is a mistake, one of my biggest mistakes. One of the biggest mistakes I made is thinking that you're going to be able to do that. And there's a lady, name is Robin Robbins in America. She runs a consulting business like this for tech entrepreneurs who the people that look after your IT in your business, those type of things, and she helps people like this. Last conference, she had 1,000 people. She's just an unbelievable marketer, absolute rock star. Now, I've been invited to go join a mastermind with them. She's doing $20 million a year. It's unbelievable. And at the mastermind, this is from a third party, the guy invited me. There's somebody who I also look up to and get mentored by, but he said, so, you're $20 million a year, Robin? Who writes your weekly emails? I do. It's but who writes the copy for the opening article of the newsletter? I do. Oh, but who writes the sales copy for the landing page? I do. And the whole room went, fuck. We really were hoping you were going to say that. And included me. You guys understand, yes? Because I have some now very talented copywriters in my team, very talented. And with all due respect, they will be the first people to tell you that when I write a Seinfeld email, which I'm not that disciplined with myself, this is a do as I say, not as I do, but that's my big focus. And this is segueing nice into the piece I'm going to teach this morning, but it's never, in this business particularly, it's just never going to be good enough if I'm not writing myself the weekly email. If I'm not writing in Halsa, another segueing into inconvenient truths, but a big mistake I made in Halsa was not making myself more of the brand. Because I mistakenly thought that I wouldn't be able to sell the business if I was more of the brand. So if like in this business, there's a cartoon, you can never have enough characters. So in this business, there's a Darth Rieder. Okay, there's a whole thing, but I should have done that in Halsa earlier. And my lesson for you on your business is you have the unique opportunity to make yourself a character in the business, to characterize yourself in some way, shape, or form. The founder of Marvel said you can never have enough characters. And there's a very, very successful chiropractor in America. His name was Greg Nielsen, Dr. Greg Nielsen, and he was famous for his newsletter. His newsletter was so good that his patients were eagerly awaiting it every single month. And it was just black and white and just copy. Because he was so funny, and he used to rip off each of his team members, and each one of them has a character, and then he'd write a whole piece on the character, and he'd write on his dog and something funny they had in the practice, and literally it was an eagerly awaited thing. So much so that it's still taught today in many copywriting seminars. Greg Nielsen, the chiropractor's newsletter, yeah, and because he made such a character of himself, and every newsletter had massive self-depreciating humor. Self-depreciating? No? Self-deprecating. Self-deprecating humor. Every newsletter. And it was funny, and they spoke about his dog, and then his CA who had 9 cats, and then they called her the cat lady, and then the whole story, and then everyone came, you're the cat lady, and whatever. So he made such a character, and that was a big mistake I made in Halsa, was not making myself more of the brand. I should have made myself more of the brand, because I thought mistakenly I wouldn't be able to sell it if I was the brand. But no, it's different. It's different. I needed a central voice through it. I needed a cartoon of myself in the newsletter. The need to know my name. I need to be the only one sending emails, etc. That was a mistake. Cool. Did you guys learn something? Yes. Cool. Hello? Yes. Cool. Awesome. Cool. So, did I share, Alistair? Yep. Go for it.
Okay, so from yesterday when John Smith was talking, one of the things he mentioned, which is I picked up on because it's one of my core values for my practice, which is the importance of hierarchy. He didn't talk about it for long, but it's just I haven't really heard many other people talk about that. So when he mentioned it, and in fact it's one of my core values, I just just because its importance in the culture of the team, really.
Okay, very good, very good. I think one of the things, just to segue on that, Anna mentioned it, yesterday, Anna, you mentioned it in your one, was, I love the way he positioned hierarchy in that there are 2 types of people in the world. There are people when shit hits the fan that want to lead and go forth and go lead, and there's people that want to be told what to do and go and follow a leader. No right or wrong. But that was quite a nice distinction for me. It's in some way, shape, or form, people crave leadership in some way, shape, or form. In a country like South Africa right now, honestly, anyone with a voice who's slightly coherent will just put themselves way ahead because it's so desperate for leadership, if you know what's happening in the country right now.